Hello and welcome to Tub Pilates. Today we're going to be doing an intermediate full body flow. Right off the bat, I just want to say that we lost the audio to this video, so I'm recording in a voiceover. So if you notice the words are off from my mouth, that's what's going on. To get started, you're going to need your black box. That's the only prop we're going to use today. And you're going to want to set your springs at whatever you like for footwork. I typically do 2 medium and 1 light, or 2 medium and 1 heavy, depending on how I'm feeling. But I prefer a 3 spring decision. Once you've got your spring set, go ahead and lay down on the reformer. You want to make sure you're not crunched up to those shoulder blocks. Nice, long, flat back. Arches of the feet hip distance parallel on that foot bar. And we'll take a couple deep breaths in and out to get settled in. So big breath in through your nose. Feel your rib cage expand and stretch. Exhale out through your mouth, knitting everything together and giving it a good squeeze. And you want to maintain that breath while we go through footwork. On your next exhale, go ahead and press off of the foot bar, sending the carriage out, and bring it back in for your inhale. You want to make sure you're resisting those springs as you come back in. And when you press it out, take a little baby pause and give everything a good squeeze. We're staying on the arches of our feet for now, but curl your toes over the front like you're a bird standing on a branch. So you get that nice stretch down the top of your foot and the front of your shins. Pay attention to your pelvic bone. Make sure it's staying nice and strong and stable. We're going to send the carriage all the way out. Bend your knees, bring it halfway in, and we're going for our tiny pulses now. Up an inch, down an inch, a little press and a pull. For 3, 2, 1, send the carriage all the way out, bring it all the way in, slide up to your heels, flex your toes back towards your nose, and press it off on your exhale. We're still in that hip distance parallel for our feet. We're just on our heels now. Same little squeeze of the thighs when you press the carriage out, keeping those hips nice and even. Arms are long by your side still. Next time you press it all the way out and pause, we're going to come halfway in and pause. We're going to butterfly our knees, so a little open and close. Try and pivot on your heels rather than rolling out to the side of your ankles. For 3, 2, 1, press it all the way out, pull it all the way in, and slide down to your toes. So we've got all 10 toes on that foot bar. Press it off on your next exhale. All 10 toes are on the foot bar, but we're pressing through our first 2, the big toe and the next toe, so that we're not rolling out on the ankles. You also want to check in on those heels. There's a little lift like you're wearing kitten heels, but don't lock out your ankles. Press the carriage all the way out and pause there. We're going to go into our calf raises. So we're going to drop both heels under and then press up onto your toes. This time you can really press up high onto those toes. The slower the better here, and moving with control. So when you drop under, try not to bounce. We want to keep everything under control here. Legs are straight and strong. Press up onto your toes, bend your knees, come halfway in, and we'll go tiny pulses for 3, 2, 1. Press it all the way out and prance it out like you're running in place. We'll alternate dropping heels underneath to get that nice tendon stretch. You can pick up a little bit of speed here if you want, but still moving with control, so not flip-flopping about. Drop both heels under the foot bar. Take your arms up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in and roll it all the way up to seated. You're going to bend your knees to bring the carriage in and set your springs for your bridging and your arms. So 1 medium and 1 light, or 2 mediums if you know what you like. Go for that, and then go ahead and lay back down. You'll probably have to pull up your pants because they definitely slid down when we did that roll up. Starting with our bridging, make sure your headrest is flat. You can go heels, arches, or toes on that foot bar, hip distance parallel. Take a big breath in at the bottom, roll it up on your exhale. Inhale at the top, and then exhale to melt it back down to that carriage. We're going to articulate here 1 vertebrae at a time. If you have any back issues, though, you can go for that hinge bridge. Keep inhaling at the bottom. Exhale, send the hips up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, we bring it back down. Keep going with your breath. When you come up into that bridge, you want to make sure you're not crunching up on your neck. So we're bridging. We want to see a straight line from our knees to our shoulder blades, not necessarily the tops of our shoulders, because that's going to really just crunch up into our neck. Next time you come up, hold it there, and we're going to go for tiny pulses, up an inch, down an inch, little squeezes of the glutes for 3, 2, 1. Send the carriage in and out 3 times, keeping those hips lifted. Last time, pull that carriage all the way in, hit the stoppers, and roll it all the way down. Give your knees a little sway side to side, loosen up those hips a little bit. We've got one more round of bridging. We're going to take our feet to a wide Pilates V. Again, you can choose heels, arches, or toes here. I tend to go for the arches when we come out wide because I feel like I have a better grip. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, roll it up into your bridge. Inhale at the top, exhale, bring it back down. Really thinking about articulation if that works for you. One vertebrae at a time, hitting in your tailbone, untucking to finish up. Keep going with your breath. Watch that you're not crunching up too high. Next time you come up into your bridge, let's hold it there and pulse out on your knees as if you have a giant rubber band around your legs for 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring our hips down to a little hover. So you're about a fist distance off the carriage. And now we're going to send the carriage in and out, holding that little hover there. So you're squeezing your glutes, you're squeezing your abs to help keep that hover. Next time you bring it in, hit those stoppers, roll it all the way down, and give your knees a little sway side to loosen it up. We're going to be going for our arms and straps next, so go ahead and reach up, grab those short loops into your hands, pull your arms down by your sides, and we'll take our legs into tabletop to start. Make sure you're not crunched right up at those shoulder rests so you have room to move here. We're going to start with our lower and lift. Arms are going to float up to the ceiling. Hands are going to pause directly above the shoulders, and then you're going to squeeze those arms right back down. You can stay here, but this is supposed to be an intermediate flow, so let's add in a crunch as we pull those arms down. You're going to crunch it up, squeezing those abs to help you lift that upper body. You're also welcome to add in a leg extension here for a more advanced move. Make sure those hands are not going past your shoulders and irritating those joints. Next time you pull your arms down by your sides, stay up in forward flexion, straighten your legs to the ceiling, point your toes and give me big scissor kicks. Squeezing those abs, holding that forward flexion for 3, 2, and 1. Lay it back down. Arms reach up to the ceiling. We're going to go windshield wipers with our arms. So we're making a little rainbow, keeping the carriage still. And just for fun, let's add in some matching rainbow legs. So straighten those legs up to the ceiling and open and close. For more abs, you can lower those legs further down. Make that lever a little bit longer. Next time you come out to a T, we're going to go for our arm circles, adding in matching leg circles for fun. For extra abs, you can do this up and forward flexion. Watch that those hands did not go above your shoulders. Get one more circle and then go ahead and hang up those long loops. Coming up off the reformer now, we're going to adjust our springs here. I'm going to take it down to 1 light spring. We're going to be doing some lunge work. So if you have buttons on your reformer, a light button is a great place to be. My reformer doesn't have buttons, so I'm just going to go for 1 light. And then we're going to go ahead and slide that black box up so that it's in line with the foot bar. If you're looking for a more advanced move here, you could grab some hand weights if you have them. If you feel good about your balance and you don't need your hands free, you could totally add some little 3s, 5s, or 8s and get some little hammer curls, bicep curls, shoulder press, whatever moves you feel good about adding in here. Otherwise, come to standing on top of your box. You're going to stand towards the front of the carriage, take 1 foot that's closest back against that shoulder rest. You've got quite a few options for arms here. Like I said, you could grab weights, hands on your hips. You could do fancy arms, prayer hands, whatever you like. And we're going for that lunge, focusing on the leg on the box. So that's the leg controlling this move. Our weight is fully in that leg. The other leg is just along for the ride, reaching back, but it's that front leg that's really controlling this, getting into that glute. Right there. You want to keep your chest lifted and your eyes forward if you can. Try not to rotate out towards the reformer. Next time you lunge down, pause there, and we're going to skate that back leg in and out, holding the lunge with the front leg. You can add fun little mogul arms. You can stay in your prayer hands, and if you have weights, feel free to do whatever feels right here. And then hold that lunge, and we're going to pulse up and down for 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way in. Step off of that box. I'm sure your glute is burning at this point. We're going to go ahead and stay on that light spring, but if it's still too heavy, you could take it down off the button if you're on a button. You can also switch between using the short loop or the long loop. And then, of course, you can also just scooch forward. You can take the box with you. I like my feet to be hanging off the box. If you're not comfortable up in this high kneel, you're welcome to drop down into a low kneel, but being in a high kneel is going to work your muscles a little bit more because you're going to have to stabilize with your abs. We're going for a wide row here, so that's palm down, elbow out to the side. Try and keep your shoulders square to the back of the room. You don't want to twist towards that reformer. Don't let it pull you. So we've got that strap in our outside hand. We're pulling across our body. If you're really struggling and you're on the lightest spring, you could always take it in the closer hand, but just remember to do the opposite on the other side. Next time you reach it forward, we're going to turn our palm to face the reformer, and we're going to go for that narrow row now. So elbow's going to ride the rib cage and stay tucked in. Again, watch out for that twisting. Don't let that reformer pull you back and forth. Squeezing your abs to help you stabilize here. Last one, and then go ahead and hang up that long loop. We're going to take our box onto the reformer, short box style, getting ready to do some planking. So I'm going to stay on that one light spring. That's what I like to do for planking. But if you need a little bit of support for your abs, you could take it to that button or take it up to one medium spring. Just know as you increase that tension to support your abs, it's going to be more work for your arms. So one light spring is really a good place to be, but it is going to be more ab work, but do what works for you. As for your arms, you can go forearms on that box or flat hands on that box. Whatever feels better to you here, whatever's going to help you keep better alignment. If you're going toes on the platform, I like to do forearms, but if you're taking your feet up to that foot bar, which is fine, just be careful. Sometimes straight arms are going to give you better alignment. It's just totally up to you here. When you come out into that plank, go ahead and send the carriage out now. We want a nice straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone. Your legs are going to kind of hinge out from there. We don't want that butt to drop super low because that's going to irritate our lower back if we're not activating our abs. For 3, 2, 1, bring that carriage back in. Take a little breather. It's nice to do this voiceover because y'all cannot hear me struggling throughout this video as I'm trying to talk and plank at the same time. If that was a little bit of a struggle for you, go ahead and adjust your springs now. We're going to come back out for another round of planking, and we're going to go for some knee tucks or jackrabbit here. So I have my toes down on that platform, but for some of us, our feet or calves are going to hit that foot bar. So you can either raise the foot bar up or you can just take your feet up to that foot bar. Same thing here. Make sure that tailbone isn't dropping too low. Nice long neck. Keep your gaze looking forward and relax those hands. For 3, 2, and 1. Bring the carriage in. Drop your knees. Take a little breather here. Next up, we're going to take the box over to the other side, and we're going to get our lunges and rows done on the other side. If you swapped your springs, just remember what you did for lunges on the first side. I did them on one light spring, but one light spring on a button would also work too. Get that box so that it's lined up right against the reformer at the front of the carriage. Come to standing on the box, take your foot that's closest and reach it back to that shoulder rest. Don't forget, if you want to add in weights, you're welcome to grab them. Otherwise, hands on your hips, prayer hands, or some kind of fancy arms if you want to add in your own choreography here. Show your creativity. Focus on that front leg, the leg on the box. That's the leg controlling this move. Our weight is in that leg. We're bending and extending it. The other leg is just along for the ride. Next time you lunge it down, we're going to hold it there, and we're going to go into our skates. So that front leg is holding the lunge. The back leg is bending and extending. We've shifted our focus. Don't let your head drop. Keep your eyes lifted for 3, 2, 1. Reach that leg out, holding your lunge still. We're pulsing for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the carriage all the way and step off the box. Come down to your kneel, same as the other side, low kneel, high kneel. Adjust your springs if you need to, and grab onto that handle. Outside hand takes the long loop, short loop for more of a challenge, or you can do the inside hand if that's what you did on the other side. We're starting with that wide row, so take your loose hand onto your hip. Palm is down, elbow is lifted out to the side. Keep those shoulders square to the back of the room. Don't let that reformer pull you. If you're up in that high kneel, think about squeezing your abs to really work your core to stabilize you as you row. Hopefully y'all don't have a wall right next to your reformer that your elbow is hitting. Next time you reach it forward, turn your palm to face the reformer. We're going to go narrow rows. So elbow is tight to the rib cage. Still paying attention. Make sure we're not twisting and turning. That reformer really likes to yank us around. Remember, you're in control. Keep your eyes looking forward. That'll help you with that. Let's get 2 more. Last one. And then go ahead and hang up that long loop. We're going to take the box back onto the reformer. Again, we're going long box style. Make sure it's right up against those shoulder rests. I'm going to stay on that one light spring because, again, I don't have a button. However, if I did have a button, I would take it up to a light button or maybe even a medium here. This, we're going into our pulling strap, so there is some arm work involved, but it's more of a back extension move. So come onto that box on your stomach, head towards the back. Your chest is going to be hanging off the edge of that box or just at the edge of it. Legs, squeeze them together, squeeze your inner thighs together, point your toes, activate that lower body. We're holding onto our straps just past the clips. And with strong, straight arms, you're going to sweep your arms back by your side. Get a feel for that spring tension, and then let's add in our extension. So as you sweep your arms back, you're going to lift your head, open your collarbones, come up into your extension the whole time, squeezing your glutes, squeezing your legs. And if you want a little bit more, you can come up into that extension, and you can stay in that extension the whole time, holding that extension up. Eyes are forward, long neck, strong arms. Let's get 2 more. Next time you come up, hold it there. Point your toes, flutter kick those feet for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Little breather. This time we're going to separate our legs out so we're at a diagonal and turn your toes out so we're like a wide Pilates V. We're going to go through kind of the same formula, but this time instead of pulling our arms straight down by our sides, we're going to take our arms out to the sides like we're doing a big snow angel. So arms stay lifted in line with your shoulders. And then when you're ready, you can add in that extension, lift that chest. Even though our legs are separated, we're still squeezing our butts, we're still pointing our toes. And if you want a little bit more, you can keep it up in that extension the whole time, holding that extension, working that back. Next time you lift it up, hold it there, and let's go heel beats. So squeeze those inner thighs, click those heels together for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Hang up those long loops. We're going to come up to sitting on top of the box facing the back of the reformer. Make sure you're sitting right at the edge of that box. We're going to go into some roll down work, and you want to make sure you have plenty of room behind you. We're going to stay on whatever spring you did, but if you want it to be more challenging, a lighter spring would be harder here. Grab onto your short loops, pull them into your chest. Sit up nice and tall. We're knuckle to knuckle. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, you're going to roll it down. to about your waistband. Take an inhale at the bottom and then exhale, roll it back up and restack nice and tall. You're holding on to those short loops at your chest the whole time. Keep going with your breath. Inhale at the top. Exhale, tuck and roll back to the waistband. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, roll it back up, restack nice and tall. Your feet are on that headrest. You're pressing through your heels. Don't let the feet lift. Next time you roll it down, reach your arms up above your head, and we're going to rise up with straight arms and then tuck them back in. So here we go. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll down. Reach those arms up. Squeeze your abs to rise up, and then tuck your arms back in. Let's go one more time. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll it down, reach those arms up, rise up on your exhale, and then tuck your arms back into your chest. Great job. All right, here we go for some teaser prep work now. With a flat back, you're going to hinge back, and then one at a time, bring those legs into tabletop. You're balancing on those sit bones. If you feel good there, we're going to go for our roll downs with that upper body. So try and keep your legs just where they are in that tabletop. We're going to roll the upper body down on our exhale. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, squeeze it back up. Our arms are reaching long as we roll down, and we tuck them back in as we come up. If you want to go full teaser, you're welcome to straighten your legs up to the ceiling, hitting that full teaser as we come up and down. Next time you rise up, reach your arms out in front of you. Nice long arms, palms are up, and we're going to hold our balance and go for bicep curls. So we've got a nice lift in our arms, and our hands are coming towards our face or towards our forehead. Feet are still, abs are squeezing to keep us from rocking. Let's get 2 more. And go ahead, hang up those long loops. Step off of your reformer. Let's lose the box. We're done with the box. You can get that out of here. We're going to come back to the reformer, and we're going to do some arm work here. So depending on where you're at, a light button is good, or maybe one heavy is good. It's up to you. I have a funny elbow, so I'm probably staying on the light spring as I do this, but your call. We're going to come to a kneel with our feet right at those shoulder blocks, and then reach back for your short loops. If you are someone who doesn't have a button like me and you need a little bit of help, you can take it to those long loops. You've got a bunch of options here. You can stay in that low kneel, or you can take it up to a high kneel. Our first move is going to be serve a tray. So tuck those elbows in. Palms are facing up. We're going to reach our arms out in front of us and then tuck them back down. When you tuck them back down, you don't want to bring your elbows way out behind you. You want to stop them at kind of a natural position. Same as with the rows. When you're up in that high kneel, you're really working on stability, and this becomes more of a full body workout. If you're looking for it to be even more full body, you could raise and lower with this to kind of bring your glutes into it. Next up, we're going into offering. So next time you reach your arms out in front of you, open them out to the sides, and then squeeze back to the center. Bend your elbows, tuck them back in. Keep your hands in your peripheral vision the whole time when you open it out. Squeeze it back, tuck them back in. Let's get one more. Serve the tray, open, close, tuck it back in. Come out of that high kneel. Give your shoulders a little wiggle. They like to creep up to our ears. We get real tense when we start doing arm work like this, so give everything a little shake. Next up, we're going into our hug a tree. So choose your low kneel, your high kneel. Take your hands out in front of you. Little bend in the elbows. Fingertips meet in the middle. Hands stay in your peripheral vision. We're going to open on our inhale. Exhale, squeeze it back to center. If you're in that high kneel, you're really working on that stability as well as working on your arms and your shoulders here. Let's get 2 more. Last one. Take your hands to your forehead. We're going to go for that diamond. Kind of flick those straps above your shoulders. They're going to ride right around your ears. Try to ignore them. This is our tricep work, our salute. You can bend your hands to your forehead, or you can lean it forward. Take your hands behind your head for your shave the head. That's a more advanced move, requires a little bit more shoulder mobility. You can think about kind of popping your butt out and taking that lean forward. Still working on our stability if we're in that high kneel. Let's get 2 more. Last one. And then come on out of it. Hang up those long loops. Finally, everyone's favorite part, legs and straps. So go ahead and adjust your springs for that. Personally, I like a lighter spring for legs because that means it's a little bit more ab work to keep your legs lifted. But do what you like here. 2 mediums is great if you're not sure. A medium and a light, medium and a heavy, whatever you're feeling today. But just remember, the lighter they are in general, that's going to be a little more ab work. But if you're really looking for that stretch, then a little bit heavier can be nice. So go ahead and get in those long loops. We're going to start with our feet in parallel. Inner thighs squeezing together, and we're going to go for that lower and lift. The thing you want to watch for here is pay attention to your hips. When you take your legs up, keep that tailbone heavy. Don't let your hips tilt. Imagine there is a bowl sitting on top of your pelvic bone and you don't want it to spill, so your hips stay even. And when you sweep those legs down, don't drop too low or it's going to tilt the other way. For bonus points, you point your toes on the way up and flex your feet on the way down. And if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can separate your feet, add some distance in between them, and work on holding that distance even without squeezing your thighs together. Lower your legs out to about 45 degrees. We're going to go for our bend and stretch here. We're still in parallel. Bend your knees into your chest and then press back out to that 45. You're either squeezing your legs together or you're holding that space trying to keep things even. Tailbone and hips are still heavy here, so we are keeping this in our legs, isolating this movement to just our legs. Let's get a couple more. Good. And next time you bring your knees in, we're going to pause there. Take your legs to more of a tabletop here. Don't let the knees come all the way into your chest. We're going to open our legs out to the side like we're opening a book. So we're holding the bend. The carriage is still probably, and we're opening and closing, squeezing those inner thighs and getting a little bit of movement into those hips while we're holding this bend and holding the tension. Bring your legs back to the center. Press out to that 45. Pilates V your feet, so turn your toes out, heels together, and we'll go frog. Keeping the tailbone heavy and down keeps the move more in your legs. Next time you press it out, we're going to go for a combo move. So give me an open and close, or an adduct and abduct. And then a frog. We're alternating between open and close and frog. When you open, point your toes to open, flex your feet to close, and those heels meet so that you're ready for that frog. Check in on your tailbone and your hips periodically, making sure the weight is nice and even there. Let's get a couple more. Take your legs straight up to the ceiling, and we're going to go for our leg circles here. So separate your feet out to the sides, circle them around. Feet will meet at the bottom and sweep up together. They are coming up as a one, and then we separate. If you're looking for more of a stretch, go big, but if you're looking for more of a workout, you're going to keep a tighter circle here. Let's get a couple more. Next time you're at the top, reverse your direction. Make sure your legs meet at the top and sweep down together. Good, couple more. Check in on your hips. Make sure you're not rocking and rolling. Everything should be steady. The only thing moving are your legs. Take your legs straight up to the ceiling. Reach up for your straps to get a little stretch. Pull back on your legs. You can do a little wiggle, a little walk. Take your legs out to that split for your straddle stretch, and you can do a little tick-tock side to side. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Bend your knees out to the sides for your butterfly. Pull up on those straps with your hands. Use your elbows to press your knees away. And whenever you feel good, go ahead and drop into that suspended butterfly. Soles of the feet stay together. And those straps are just going to hang down the front of your body. Relax your arms to whatever is comfortable. And take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Congratulations, you did it. a 30-minute flow for y'all today. Go ahead and come out of your long loops. Let's do our final breath together. Sit up on the side of your reformer. We're going to separate our legs out wide. Turn your toes out slightly. Take a big breath in. Arms come up. On your exhale, dive down for the floor. Let everything go long and heavy. Get that nice little stretch there. Relax your head. Maybe get a little sway side to side. Plant your hands firmly on the ground. Shift your weight to your feet and then stand up. We're going to stay folded. Take a little stretch here. Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, slowly roll up like a rag doll. Circle those arms around. Bring your palms together. And then exhale. We are all done. Thank you so much for tuning in to this intermediate full body flow from Tub Pilates. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And again, sorry for the voiceover. We'll make sure that doesn't happen again. And if it does, it'll be on purpose. Have a great day.